Hello everyone, my streaming software was glitching me in and out there, so sorry about that. As I said, this is new streaming software, so we're going to do our best with it. Apologies if everything goes wrong. I've also got an automated administrator that as you're typing in the chat, he or she or whatever will sort of pop up automatically. If those get too annoying, let me know and I'll try and turn them off, but having used this for the first time, this is going to be a bit of trial and error with that. But yeah, so just give it a bit of slack on the annoying stuff. But not of YouTube greatest from the scrap line. Definitely not one of the greatest, but thanks for the compliment there. As you can see, I'm in my wonderfully top high-end hotel, which can only mean one thing, that I'm not at home, which therefore means I'm somewhere else, and that is Birmingham for the Warley 2019 exhibition. I went for the first time last year, and it was so good I couldn't not come back this year. So I thought I'd sort of make the appearance of having not been on the old YouTubes for a while and give you guys a bit of an update as to what's going on. Hello Paul, Calvin Hall, welcome. Looking forward to catching up with you on Sunday because I'm here at Warley all weekend. I think Tim, you said you're there Sunday as well. I'll be here tomorrow. And at the weekend at Gout Valley, great to have you back. Thank you very much. I am going to be explaining what's been going on and why there's been a bit of an absence. Some of you may know, may or may not know, but it's best just to do one of these. Why not, eh? And I said it's a great excuse for trying out some of this new streaming software. One of which it's got text-to-speech, so you don't have to in any way, and I'm not asking you to, but one of the features of the streaming software is if you do like a monetary donation, which again, not compulsory at all, but it's just explaining the features, it does like a text-to-speech thing. So you can say donate X amount and it will leave a message and the software will read it out. It also notifies me of different things that go on. So I've got another YouTube account here on my phone, and I'm going to subscribe to my own channel from one of my other ones. So it's just, and I'll unsubscribe because that's cheating, but just to demonstrate what happens. So if I subscribe to it, you should get, and this is if it works, a notification on the screen which says X has subscribed to the channel. Now, I pressed it a couple of minutes ago, nothing's come up yet, so it might not work. It's not working, is it? Oh well, anyway, we'll come back to that. Right, so that's right, yes. Down to the nitty-gritty stuff of it, and also if the connection gets a bit funny, let me know, because I'm streaming off of hotel Wi-Fi, so I'll try and tether from my phone if it gets a bit rubbish. So a lot of you sort of saw, I think my last video was showing the bridge that I built, which I was really happy with actually. But then loads of drama and life happened. Me and my other half, some of you know we've got a young boy. He's been very, very ill lately. Nothing too serious, so don't worry, anything like that. But it just has meant a lot of time and attention has been needed with him and away from everything. Work for me got ridiculous, especially over the summer period and sort of into the autumn. It was just non-stop compulsory overtime. So it's just been a nightmare to get up there. And then we had to move house as well. So that then left the big dilemma as to what to do with the layout. The house that we moved into was sort of a necessity. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it meant that we had to take the property, and with that came some downsides, including the loft. The hatch for the loft in the new house is half the size of the hatch in the old house. And when I built the layout, I designed it so it could easily come out of the hatch, which it can do and would do easily, like in block sections. Now I thought that loft hatch would be universal size for most houses. Turns out it's not. The house that we've just moved into has, say, it's got a loft hatch that's half the size, which means although I can get stuff out of the old house, I can't get it in to the new loft without physically taking the baseboards apart, because they're about, I think it's 7 inches deep, which then meant I'd have to take all the framing off, put the board itself flat sideways, and it'd go through diagonally, which is just not going to happen because everything's sort of holding it all together. So that became a bit of a dilemma. And the get your saw out. Yeah, cheers, Tim. Yeah, to be honest, I was very tempted, but as you may have seen, I've got all the track laid down, and I've done all the open framework. So a lot of the ups and downs and stuff were sort of being held in place by that framework. A lot of it didn't have top boards, so it would have been physically impossible. Pop a saw on a wood rucksack. Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, it seems to be the common answer. Get a saw out. Yeah, we'll start a hashtag. Get your saw out. But yeah, because a lot of the open base the baseboards were open framed, where I changed to that technique. Yeah, a lot of the runs and stuff were held in by that base, so it literally would have had to been taking everything apart, which then meant taking the track off, and where I'd sleeper spaced and copy dexed it down, I could have pulled it up, but a lot of the track wouldn't have been like ruined or damaged, but it would have been possibly bent and stuff like that, where the sleepers weren't holding it in place. So I've taken it all apart, and it was the most depressing week of my life. Excuse me, because it had to come out either way. So I was just thought, right, let's get it taken apart, and we'll work out where it's going to go, what we're going to do. But yeah, so I spent about a week taking it all apart, trying to salvage as much of it, and I only lost 2 sections of track which were probably less than 3 inches, and that was because as I was taking some of the baseboards apart, I forgot to cut through some track, and as the baseboards went apart, the track decided to obviously warp and snap and break and bend and pop and everything. Can't you make the hatch bigger? That's what I did. Yes, however, that was definitely one thing I thought of, and I even spoke to Dave over at Cotsmore about this. The problem with that is the property we're in, it's rented. We haven't bought it, and doing major work like that is not something that the landlord is keen on. We're still new there. If we're there for a long time, maybe, but then I'm investing my money in somebody else's property, and the plan is we're not going to be there forever. It's a stepping stone to getting our own place, like owning our own place. So yeah, making the hatch bigger is definitely something I thought about. Like John, I even thought about wasting some money and throw it in if the landlord's going to say yes, but because of that, the amount of work it would have needed doing in making a hatch bigger, and then having to convert the loft out again, board and insulate, I would have been spending a lot of time and money into that. So it's not something I've written off as a definite no, but it's something at the moment where I'm not 100% convinced in it. But we'll see. It may still come around that. So the other option was, well, what about an outbuilding? Getting like a shed or a sort of not conservatory, a sort of outhouse of some kind. And that's again money in somebody else's property. So it's weighing up these options. Now, I have got family address. I'll even just like my mum's address, which have a big empty loft. And I'll come back to that note, because on going back again on our new property we're in now, it's not a new build, but it's a newer build than what we were in. So the one we're in, if you know my videos and you've seen the loft, it's the old A-frame type. So the beams are running across the middle, but there's not many beams, so it's big open space. The one we've got is very similar to Richard New Junctions, and in the sense of it's got all the sort of like trussing and crossing. So again, putting the existing layout in that loft would also be, maybe it might not even fit in that sense, but I haven't had a lot of time to get up there and properly measure because I've been on and on about what to do. But that's the other caveat to the existing one. A smaller end-to-end layout for now. Tim, that is pretty much where we're going with this. I've been working on convincing the other half about having one in the house. A small layout. It is a work in progress, but it's not a definite no. And as you see there, I've just seen it in the corner of my Streamlabs, the automatic sort of chatbot administrator. So if that gets too annoying, let me know, because I've sort of set it on a sort of scheduled timer thing. I've tried to make it reasonable, but again, if that gets annoying, let me know and I'll turn it off. But yeah, we are talking about lofts. So yeah, the smaller end-to-end layout is something that's probably what my goal of Tony Doc's continuing here will be, is to create a smaller in-the-house layout. Now, I'll come on to timeframes in that in a minute. The existing Tony Doc station layout, as I mentioned, I've got like even other family, like dad and mum's address and stuff like that. They've got a big empty loft. So considering putting it up there for now, I hope she's not watching this because she might not know this is what I'm planning yet. Putting it up there for now, and although I obviously won't be there regularly to do regular content, it might be something that I can do like a feature on. So I can go back to that layout until we get our own place that we own, and I can put that in permanently. I can sort of do intermittent videos on the original layout, sort of being back in there. And also, like, I've got some other family who've got some outbuildings and stuff that may or may not be in use, but I need to look at how weatherproof they are. So the existing layout isn't been destroyed and it isn't going away. So for anybody that is following that layout for whatever reason, it's not gone away. Although it's not put up at the moment, it will come back. So if you're interested in that layout, don't worry, I'm not getting rid of it and starting again. It will come back to life. Just when and where is the question. So Anthony, hi, nice to see you in the chat as well. Are you coming to Warley? I couldn't remember whether you said you were or you weren't this year. So yeah, well, on that note, on whether you're coming to Warley, now my stream software may glitch out here if you start seeing random screens. I'm sorry, it seems to be every time I change the screen on my desktop, it disappears or changes. But I'm going to start a poll, and I'm hoping this is going to work. So there is a poll, which you can see I've opened there, for which day you're visiting Warley. All you've got to do is type !vote and then followed by Saturday, Sunday, both, neither. This is just another little gimmick. Doesn't mean anything, but I'm just trying this out as to see whether it looks good. And you can see up here in the top left corner there'll be the poll results. I can't talk today, poll results. So, yeah, Anthony, let me know if you're coming. And everyone else, let me know when you're coming. And I'll try and sort of gauge as to who's coming and when. That's the idea. Just a bit of a laugh, isn't it? Something to entertain us on a Friday night while we're all getting ready. But yes, so the end-to-end layout. I'm called Tony Doc Station, and the main layout obviously is around that. So an end-to-end layout. The space that I'm hoping to put this in, I've probably got, I reckon, 8 to 10 feet. So I don't want to do anything too extravagant. I'm just catching up in the chat here. No, not this year. I'll be going next year. Okay, Anthony. All right. Definitely, we will catch up next year. Hi, Tony. Since looking at going to have a smaller layout on your loft, have you thought about a Venn gauge? Maybe using your mum's loft for your 00 gauge? Yes, I have thought about N-gauge. And for me, I was like, I've never dabbled with N-gauge. I've always admired it because I think the finesse and the patience you need for it. I struggle with 00, and I'm not an old person at all, but I have very shaky hands and stuff like that. So 00 is about my limit, and the smaller area on the N scale is definitely something I have considered, especially for, as Tim said, doing the end-to-end layout. That's what I've contemplated. However, I thought if I do 00 again, all of my stock that I've got and all of my controlling and stuff. Well, not so much the controllers because they will work universally, but especially all my stock. I thought I can use that, and I haven't got to go and buy new locos as well as new track and scenery and everything, because I've got. I don't know if you remember the Hornby program that they did, where they was it stuff acquired beyond life expectancy, Sable. I've sabled a lot of stuff, including like scenery and products and buildings and all sorts that just haven't made it to the layout yet. So if I do stick with 00, I can use what I haven't used, and it's all brand new in the wrapper, in the new end-to-end layout, or whatever it ends up being. And then I can, when sort of the big layout comes back to life, I can start, transitioning stuff back over, because I'm not going to be losing stuff by putting it on a smaller layout at all. It's just going to be sitting in a box. If I go to Engage, it will still be sitting there in a box. So I might as well use all the 00 stuff I've got. So yes, I have thought about the Engage, although I am steering away from it financially, and I've got all the product there, so let's use it. So that's what I thought about that. Paul, a modular layout could work well for you. 4x2 sections that could all come together when you eventually get a large enough space for it would still give you something to work on in your current home. Exactly. So yeah, I've got about 8 to 10 feet, because I've got, some of you may know I do sort of like flight simulation as well, but obviously I don't talk about it on this channel because this is about model railways. But I have that set up in my living room. I've got like my gaming PC with all that stuff. So I'm trying to extend my area out by putting in this sort of short 8x2, or whatever it ends up being, next to that. So it'll be sort of my little corner of the living room. And the other thing is as well, because it will be in the living room, is the kids. So I've got to make sure that, one, it's up high enough, and two, any cabling and stuff like that is not in reach, or certainly boxed off or closed in or something like that. And the actual layout itself is high enough up so that at the age they're at now, that they can't reach, unless I'm holding them with a firm hand and holding their hand so they can't reach it. But yeah, that's the plan. Gout Valley, you voted neither, so at the moment we've got nobody coming. But yeah, thanks for voting. It's glad to see that it's actually working up on the screen. And the Streamlab says that you voted on neither. I'm going Sunday, couldn't find an option to click it myself. So Paul, all you do is in the text chat there, type ! No space, vote, and then the word sun, S-U-N. So it should look like just, vote, space, S-U-N. It should work like that. So if you look at Gout, he's done ! Vote, space, neither. Try that, see if that works. If it doesn't, it's all going to horribly wrong. But that's how it should work. Thanks for being a part of the stream. Oh, yeah, that's Streamlabs. Anthony, Strathroad Junction. I'm saving up for a new controller, which I'm getting on Monday. Anthony, what controller are you getting? Because I've seen a lot of people talking about this lately, and obviously with Warley coming up, I don't think there's any new controllers being planned, but there's certainly a few ones out there at the moment. And I know what I've got, but I'll wait to see what you said you're getting. Tim, so close, needs a space between vote and sun. I can't. The thing is with this poll, I can't change it of how you vote. I can only give it the options, but it always has to be ! Vote sun, space sun. So I will do it from my other channel here, and you will see what I mean. There we go. Yeah, it's all coming in. So yeah, CAV simulations, ignore that. That's me. That's my other stuff. Don't worry about it. It's just, so I'm using it as an example. But yeah, that's my flight stuff. So don't worry about that. But yeah, so that's how that should be working. Yeah, that is good. Sorry, just checking on my stream software again. But yeah, no, I'm glad to see that that's actually working. That's a bit of fun, isn't it? So we've got, yeah, I like that. It's something different. But yeah, so the end-to-end is something that's definitely working on. But again, what I've been thinking about is with it, I'm not going to get a dock scene in a very short end-to-end layout. I could do a very shunting scene of a dock, but I don't model, or certainly Tony Docks is based on a large shipping container type dock, not a sort of old steam era type dock where it would have been sort of like very small shunters. I'm talking about large, and you might have seen I have large cargo container rakes. So again, on an end-to-end, doing that sort of dock scene, which is what the big Tony dock scene would have been, because it would have been a whole 12-foot section. I don't really want to do that. So what I may do is dabble in something very different, and obviously have the main Tony docks being the docks. And so I'm open to some ideas. I've not really set myself anything on that, but that's certainly something I'm thinking about. And with going back to sort of what somebody said earlier about the N-gauge, that's what I was thinking. Oh, should I do a big dock scene in N-gauge because it's smaller? And then sort of came around to the realisation of not really doing that. Scout Valley says, I'm looking at buying a Raspberry Pi and a Sprog One. That's interesting because I've not seen many people using like Raspberry Pis and stuff like that. And I've got a few of the, what are those circuit boards called? I've got them sitting in the box and I haven't used them. I forget what they're called. The Arduinos. I've got a few Arduinos as well, which I was going to be using for some sort of simulation stuff within the docks of animations and lighting and stuff like that. But yeah, having a Raspberry Pi and a Sprog One, that's very similar to having sort of computer control to what I'm doing. So I'll be very interested in seeing what you've got planned for that, because not many people are doing it. A lot of people just go for the off-the-shelf, grab the unit, which is what I've done, and there's nothing wrong with it at all, because I'm not as electrically software programming minded as I'd like to be. It's taken me some time to get my head around the computer control stuff. So I've got a lot of respect for people that do that, because you've got a lot more freedom and flexibility with that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'll be interested to keep an eye on that and what you do with that. I joined your channel at around 10 subs. Oh, you've lost me there, Tim. You joined my channel. Oh, sorry, Tony Docks. When I was way back when. Yeah, that's why you've got a big spanner next to you, because you're a hardcore original Docker. That's new. Docker. Hashtag Dockers. Yeah, Streamlabs being annoying again. I'm getting the NCE Power Cab controller. Awesome. Okay, I've not used one, but I've heard that they are very good. Obviously, I use the DigiKey DR5000, which I got from a well-known digital train supplier. I won't mention it on here because people will say that I'm sponsored, and I'm not. But I highly recommend them because their after sales is very, very good. If you're interested, I'm sure I've mentioned it in some of my older videos, especially the ones where I talk about digital control. But yeah, the DR5000, I really like it, and I use it with iTrain, and it's got the capability to be used with Train Controller as well, or any other software. It's a very universal piece of kit. It can be used as a handheld controller as well. So a lot of people get the Rocco mouse controller, plug that in, and you can use it without any computer software. So it's a very universal bit of kit. And for the price of it, I thought, I sort of jumped on the bandwagon, not when it was brand new, but certainly way before Warley last year was where I sort of saw it. And I'd not long had it before Warley last year, so maybe sort of a year and a half ago. But I really, really like it. And I had the, I forgot what I had before that, the Bachmann controller. If anyone can remember the name of it, please remind me. You can use this controller. It is plug and play, and I've done videos on it before, and I'll probably do more where I'm not focusing on the main layout. I'll probably be doing videos on bits and bobs like that, and I might even do another video on the track design software I've got for the Mac, which is called, he says, Rail Modeler Pro, which I use. I've done one video on that before, and that's sort of got quite a bit of views, so people seem to like that. And I've actually had a few people ask if I've done any more, and I know the software company themselves often put out my video as a link for an example of it. So I may do more detailed one on that, and on the controller and sort of the iTrain stuff. The iTrain I'm still learning, which is why I haven't really done any videos on it, because I don't want to be putting incorrect information out there. So I might get a bit more to grips with that before doing those sort of videos. But certainly, I'll be sort of doing content like that. Galgun Hawk is what I have Anthony Strephon Road Junction. I really like it. Yeah, so it's what I mean. It's a very tried and trusted controller, and a lot of people use it. I think is it Gary from my faithful shunter guys has one, or did he have the Prodigy? I can't remember. I think he might have been the Prodigy. But yeah, the Power Cab, it's tried and tested, and I think for the time that it's been out, I haven't really heard anything negative about it. So yeah, that'd be good. Stuart Bernard, hello, welcome, welcome. I would recommend the ESU Ecos. Yes, I would recommend. I think everybody would recommend that. But for as good as it is, it does come at a cost. And certainly, if you want to do automation, you have to buy some of their extra boxes and stuff like that. So certainly, the cost can very quickly escalate because there's do you know what? I can't remember the name. I've got my mind has gone blank tonight. Who's the guy who's done that massive layout on the Sun dealer board, and he's sort of been doing it in sections, and he has the ESU Ecos, and I think even he said it's awesome, but it took a lot of time for him to get that to work, and he had a lot of teething problems with it. So I think once you get your head around it, it's great, but he's also had to buy a lot of the additional sort of boxes and stuff for the automation. So if you're on a budget and you want to do that sort of stuff, my personal recommendation is the DR5000. But I'm biased because I own it. But if you're on a budget, that's where I'd go. If you want something that's very high end and very well supported, and you've got a bit of disposable income, then yeah, I would agree that the ESU Ecos is a great bit of kit. I think you'll be hard pressed to find negative things on it, other than if you haven't got the money for it, it can be a bit pricey. Yeah, good reviews about it, Anthony. The Dynamis, Stuart Barnard, thank you. Yes, the Dynamis Ultima. That was it. That's what I had originally when I first started. Hi, Jason Barnabas Johnson. Hello. I haven't seen you on social yet. Have you? I've seen obviously Stu. Are you up here as well with him, or are you popping up this weekend at all? If you've just joined us, you can do in the chat vote one word space, and then sat, sun, both, or neither, and let us know where you're coming. The Ecos well out of my price range. Anthony, yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's very, very expensive. As you can see, Streamlabs, the poll was still going. But Jason, I seriously like the Gauge Master DCC04 wireless system and considering upgrading to it. Where I've been out of the loop a bit, have not heard about this yet. I will see if I can get eyes on it this weekend. I'm sure someone will be using it if it's already out or if it isn't. But Jason, type a bit about it in the chat if you don't mind, because I'd be interested to know, but I haven't seen that yet, so I can't really pass any comment on it. Grant Williams, Gout Valley, yes, that is exactly who I was thinking of. He's got the ESU Ecos, and that is what I was talking about. Grant Williams. Hasn't seen much from him lately, I think, because he said he does quite a lot of work as well away. I think he said he's like an audio engineer, so he probably travels quite a bit, but I really enjoyed following his layout. But yeah, he was the one I was thinking of. Hornby Select, can't go wrong with a Hornby Select or an Elite. I think that's where a lot of people started, and they still use them because you can use the Railmaster software with it as well. So yeah, can't go wrong, especially if you just want to run trains. If you want to get up, turn it on, and press go, what more do you want? If you don't want complicated stuff, Elite and the Select, that's the way to go. I agree on the heavy price tag, but still very reliable, Stuart. Yeah, 100% agree with you. Very reliable. As I said, I would say that if you had the money and you wanted to go down that route, I think that's probably the best route to go in that price range. I think you've got to look at products in price ranges. So, you're not going to compare the Ecos to a, I don't know, DC out the box twist and go controller. It's just they're different price ranges. I know they're different controllers. One's DCC and one's DC, but if you wanted to run DC, you were not going to go for an Ecos. So I think it's about functionality and price is what controller you go for. But I mean, that's what I love interesting about this. Jason, neither. Oh, shame. Is it I know it's your birthday weekend normally around Barnabas, around Warley. So is it Monday or Sunday your birthday. Is that why you're not coming? Ignore the donation stuff again. This is all test stream stuff, so it's automatically putting it out there. Again, you have to bear with me on this test stream stuff. Just sold my I can't talk today. I'm really sorry. Just sold my Selectim. Okay. What are you using at the moment, then, Anthony? Have you got a controller at all, or have you already got your power cab? Sadly, I missed an issue due to 45th birthday activities. I thought it was your birthday. 45 though, good going. Many happy returns for whatever day it is. I think it's normally the Sunday or the Monday, or the Saturday or the Sunday, but then obviously the year's past, it'll be the next day. So is it Sunday or Monday? But for whatever day it is, happy birthday. That's what I'm considering is that Gauge Master one. Yeah, I think I need to look into that. I can't really pass any comment on that. Finneton, hello, welcome, and very warm returns. Thank you very much. The Pi Sprog one comes in at 130. That's good. That's a good price. I mean, the DR5000 I think is 150. It's around that figure, 150. But then that's just the controllers. If you want the handheld element as well, you're looking at another, 80 quid for the Rocco mouse controller. But yeah, the Gauge Master, the DCC04 is the Prodigy Advanced. Okay, alright. Okay, so it's Prodigy Advanced. Okay, I just didn't know that's what it was called, the DCC04. Okay, cool, that makes sense. Yeah, again, as I was saying earlier, the Prodigy tried and tested. Great controller, so can't do that. 25th November, Monday. I'll check out my memory. I knew it'd be either the Sunday or the Monday because I couldn't remember which one it was. But anyway, I hope you're going to I hope you're going to have awesome time for your birthday, whatever you're up to, and you'll be missed. So we'll hopefully catch up with you the next year. But we'll have a beer for you. Don't worry. Nothing yet. Not run train for 2 weeks. Oh, see, that's the pain. I feel your pain because when I had a working layout, didn't like it, changed it, and from having had trains running, especially with the sound, to then not running trains, and just as I was getting to the point of finishing my track work and getting wiring done and having trains moving again, I've had to tear it all apart. So, Anthony, you have my full sympathy. Hopefully you'll get a controller soon. As soon as you've got the money in the bank, just grab one, get those trains running again. It's something that I'm not going to be able to do for a while, but I will take pleasure in watching everybody else do theirs. So, and yeah, still got my Gauge Master Prodigy as a backup, but I intend to use the ECOS for point control and signal running. Yeah, again, that's exactly what I was talking about. If you've got that functionality and you've got that use for it, for the point control and signal running, then the ECOS is great. As I said, if you're running sort of a standard, just want to put a train on track and watch it go, you're not really getting your money's worth with the ECOS. So again, if you're using the functionality, I 100% agree with you. It's great. For me, with the DR5000 running it through iTrain, that's why I went for that, because it controls all of the things like the points and the signals and the trains as one piece of software like the ECOS, so that you're not sort of running signals and points from a different system to the trains, and the trains aren't talking to the points and vice versa. So what I liked about it was it would know where the train was, and it'd be like, okay, let's change that point. Oh, there's another train coming, let's change the point back. So that it wasn't always like, right, I'm going to change a point and I have no idea whether a train's anywhere near it, and God forbid, change a point whilst a train is over the middle of it, and knocking it out that way. So I liked the idea it was all in one and everything spoke to each other. So that's why I sort of went down that route. But again, if you're using that sort of functionality, the ECOS is definitely that way to go. Where are we now? I lost myself in chat now. £420 for the DCC4. I didn't realise it was there. I didn't realise it was in that price range. That's ECOS money, close to, I think. Is it like £500-600 for the ECOS? Maybe less. I don't know. But is that plug and play? Like you could literally just plug that in. It's away like the ECOS, or do you have to buy extra bits for it as well? Probably Miss Jason. Yes, indeed. Many thanks. Very much appreciated. Definitely, we'll have that beer. Have a good birthday, Jason. Merry Christmas. What am I? It's not there yet. It's still November. Oh, I'm waffling too much. It's late and I haven't eaten yet, so forgive my ramblings. DCO2 was around 250 a few years ago. I hate to think how much they are nowadays. Well, as Jason just said, above that 420 for the DCO4. And I'm assuming the DC002 is that stopped being manufactured now, so that why the price is going to be pushing up, as everything does. Ordering it on Monday morning and having next day delivery. Okay, so by Tuesday. Okay, good. So that's good. Awesome. Around 500 for an ECOS. So yeah, so we use the same sort of price budget as the DCC04. So that's an interesting uh, price point to be at for those. Which I've put them at two different controllers. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm obviously always open for correction, but they're quite close in price range. If you're looking at 420 for a DC004 and you've got an extra 80 quid and you don't need any of the extra bits, would it be worth spending an extra £80 to go for an ECOS? If you're spending £420, what's £80? It's like 25%. It's not 20%. It's not a massive percentage really for an extra 80 quid. What do you guys think? If you had that money, would you go 420 for a DCC04, or would you cough up an extra 80 quid and go for a ECOS? That's an interesting price point to be at, and I didn't realise that until you guys have pointed that out. So for what I do, my vote would be I would cough up the extra 80 quid. I would go for an ECOS for that price difference. If it was significantly different, like if we were at 300, maybe. For me, for the features that I use, sort of the digital stuff, I'd cough up 80 quid and go for an ECOS if I was choosing between those two. That's interesting. Don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'd be interested to see what the consensus on that is. Right, around 500 ECOS. That's for the starter kit, and yes, plug and play. Okay, so yeah, we're talking the same money then. Additionally, waiting for the next bit from Jason. ECOS all day long from Anthony. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. It's 80 quid when you think you're spending 420 quid anyway. 80 quid's not a lot when you look at that. So, yeah. Additional wires, about 200 quid a poll, and that poll's still going. Right, let me quickly just end this poll before it keeps annoying everybody in chat. So let's close the poll. And it seems that most people are going on the Sunday or not going at all, which is a shame. We'll definitely catch up with everybody else soon. So hopefully I've ended that poll, so that will stop annoying you in chat with that. Don't Gauge Master have a lifetime guarantee? Oh, I didn't know that either. That does add some difference to the weight of that. If you're getting lifetime guarantee, well, it'd be interesting to. I still don't know actually, because you've thrown a real spanner in the works there, Finnerton Central. That might have just put me on the. Don't know. Finnerton, you're there tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. If you are, come find me. I'm going to be wearing this hat, so look for the red hat, and I'm going to be flogging a dead horse. And if anybody can guess what I mean by that, you'll be able to spot me, hopefully. But yeah, if you knew where I wore this hat, you'll know what else I'll be wearing, and I'll be flogging a dead horse. So come find me, and you should know how to come find me if you know what I mean by that. If you don't, then maybe I'll tell you at the end of the stream. We'll see. My DC 4-way controller does. So, for the lifetime guarantee. Okay, so that is the real. If it breaks, they will either repair or replace it for it. I'm assuming that doesn't cover sort of like accidental stuff, like if you drop it and it's your fault. I'm assuming they wouldn't give you a cover for that. But if it breaks, like for manufacturing reasons, for lifetime guarantee, like if I don't know, 6 years down the line, you fry a transistor or resistor or something in there, and they're going to swap that out. That's pretty good going, especially if you're 6 years in, or whatever, however long in. Whereas with the ECOS, that is very electrical, and if something goes wrong with that 6 years in, that's a lot of money to cough up again, isn't it? Especially if you then develop your layout for that type of controller. So that has put a real spanner in the works for me as to whether the 80 quid's worth it, because if you're going for 20 for a lifetime guarantee, but then you've just got to weigh up whether the functionality meets your needs, I guess. So I think if you don't need full ECOS functionality, and you don't think you ever will, and your layout is already built and you're not going to convert it for block detection, even though it is possible with a fully ballasted track to convert for block detection, but I'll come on to that in a minute. If you're not going to ever use those features, then maybe 420 and a lifetime guarantee is where to be. But if you ever think, like I did, that you want to have some form of automation, and even if that isn't necessarily train automation, point automation or signal automation or any combination of above, then it does put a spanner in the works, really. But that is a really interesting point. Jason says Shunter Guy's hoodie, Shunter Guy's t-shirt. Yes, it's effectively yes. I'm going to be flogging that dead horse for one more year. I think Gary is also going to be sporting that, and we've got Fred and Nigel are coming up. Matt can't make it, despite numerous attempts. He's just got family commitments, so all of us will be reunited bar Matt, unfortunately. So that should be good. I'm looking forward to seeing the guys again and flogging that dead horse, as I say. So you've got to, haven't you? Just for Warley, just for a laugh. I think just even if it's just so people go, really, and I'm just going to be like, yep, why not? Why not? I'm quite looking forward to the mixture of remarks we'll get. Anything for a bit of drama, I think. So yeah, that SMS store. Sorry, you've lost me a little bit there. Manufacturing faults only. Okay, so that still does go back to what I was saying though. If you've got a manufacturing fault 6 years down the line with an ECOS, and that's that's not something you can just take apart and quickly resolder in a resistor or something, because that's going to be some quite complex electronics in there. That's if you haven't got that warranty, that's a bit of money to cough up again, isn't it? So I think that really goes back to your needs from a controller, really. It's quite an interesting conversation. I wasn't even planning on talking about controllers, but that's been quite a good conversation, and it's good to actually get some thoughts from other people on that as well. So yeah, keep that going. My controller is secondhand and I still get the guarantee. See, oh my god, that is awesome, isn't it? ECOS have screen issues. Yes, it's touch. Is it touch screen ECOS? I think it is, isn't it? But you can connect it to your PC and have that screen on your PC. So if the touchscreen does go after the warranty, yes, it's a pain that you've got a £500 piece of kit that's not working properly, but you can still access that screen via your PC. So it's not unusable, but you would be annoyed. But it's not like it would be completely, you'd have to take it for repair unless you desperately wanted to use the touchscreen. So I will say that that's not really acceptable, but you wouldn't have to stop running trains. You could still run trains. Great Model Railway Challenge Series 1 meets Great Model Railway Challenge Series 2, yes. I think I'm going to be ducking and diving around the place, I think. But it's just going to be fun, I think, just to see if people will, but just to see what people say. Yeah, maybe that's bad. I'm still going to do it. I'll have a beer and I'll soon forget about it. Tony, check out my channel and see what you think of my layout. Anthony, I have been following your channel. I am a subscriber, and I will admit I haven't been on YouTube for obvious reasons for a while, but I will catch up with it once I get around to it. The whole idea for me coming to Warley was to try and get back into this. But yes, I am a subscriber and I do follow your channel. And I remember meeting you last. I'm sure I met you at Warley last year. Did I? I'm 90% sure I did. If you didn't go, then obviously I'm making it up. But yeah, I do subscribe and follow to you, so I will catch up with it. But I don't want to do it now because I haven't watched anything, nobody's layouts for a while. So I will catch up on it. Me personally, I would use Gauge Master as it's UK built. Yeah, that's the other thing as well, isn't it? I think we are lucky in the UK to have quite a lot of UK manufacturers, and especially now with the likes of Rails and Hattons basically transitioning into manufacturers. Pico is obviously UK, and is it Cornwall or Devon? I always remember it's in beer because it's beer. And then you've got Hornby, right near me, down in Kent. and I'm sure there's a few others, but they're just the main ones at the top of my head. But I think we're quite lucky, and I know we moan about prices, and quite rightly so. And just before we get onto this, no, everyone, we're not going to get into a conversation about prices because that is a whole different stream. I'm just using it as an example, but at least we don't have to pay extreme shipping prices. Like if you're in America, like the guy who does, I think it's Canadian actually, but he does he's modelling Newcastle, um, and he imagine doing a UK layout with UK bits and having to pay shipping to like the Americas. I mean, we're lucky in that sense, I think, and being able to have those manufacturers at places like Warley in the UK, where you can actually get in and see what they're developing, see what's coming out, and see the product. Because with the advent of the internet now and everyone doing online shopping, and let's just be honest, I mean, I know a lot of our community are getting younger, but I don't mean it's in a negative way, but a lot of our community are not overly familiar with the internet. But obviously the society is transitioning in that way. So with those that do just basically shop on the internet, to see a product as a picture, it can be well photographed, and we all know what it's like where you hear the eBay horror stories. It looks good in the pictures, and it turns up, and it's like, oh my god, what the hell have I just bought? But being able to get into places like this and model shops as well, and see this product and see the level of detail as to see what you're paying for, I think we are lucky with that. So that's the one thing I will say on that. Just checking back through a check here. Hope the house move went well. Yeah, but Jason, it went well-ish. It didn't go terribly, but it took a long time. But we're settled now, and we're sort of adjusting and stuff. But yeah, thank you very much. It did get done. So yes, thank you very much. Got to keep a lookout on updating the firmware for the ECOS. Yeah, I suppose that's the other thing with software-based stuff. Yeah, as opposed to having just like a handheld controller. So that's another downside. Devon Pico, yep, thank you very much. I would like the Z21 controller. Yes. This was what I was toying when I was looking at the DR5000. I was toying between that and the Z21. I think what a lot of people like about the Z21 is you've got the mobile app, but you can use the mobile app on the DR5000 as well, and you can actually use the Z21 mobile app on the DR5000. Work that one out. But yes, the Z21 I think is a good another piece of kit. I haven't used it, and I only know what's already out there, so I'm not going to pass too much comment on it, positive or negative. But I'll say that's probably, I think, is the next not competitor, but the next equivalent in the DR5000 range. I think it's a little bit more expensive, and there's different versions of the Z21, but it's definitely around that area and price range, I think. So that's another good compare. And I think Dave over at Cottesmore, he's just bought a Z21. I haven't seen the video, but I've seen that he's bought one. I think he put a picture up on his Facebook page. So yeah, I might have to have a look into the Z21 more. I think I'm not going to buy it, but just so I've got a better understanding of it. Newcastle Central, that is the one I was thinking of. Yes. Australian guy. Well, if you're talking about, the almighty Boulder Creek, he doesn't really. I mean, he started his channel, I think, as Boulder Creek Railroad, and I think it was the whole plan. I think some of his really, really early videos were about frame building and electrical stuff, because I think he was planning on building a model railway, and then he probably had a similar problem to me with space, work, kids, family, so focused on dioramas, and that's what really I think he found either a passion for, and it elevated. But I think you can see now with his newest video, again, which I haven't seen, at least it involves another form of rail, and you can see a lot of his dioramas do have rail in. So, yeah, I think he's not so much buying UK products, but I know there are people in Australia and New Zealand that do model UK stuff, so I can imagine the import charges on that sort of stuff. This hobby has massively improved over the last few years. Yeah, I mean, I've only been in it for the last few years, to be fair. I mean, like properly into the level that I do it now, I've only been in it. But yeah, it's definitely changing, and being in it right now, you can see it changing. So I again, I don't really think I can say dramatically how much it's changed, but I think it is apparent it is changing. And I think with the advent of things like YouTube, GMRC, exhibitions like this, it is becoming a more exposed thing. And I think obviously with the major celebrities who have come out with their railroads lately. One of which who is very close to me, Jules Holland. I'm in an iron about whether to try my luck and send an email and be like, I've got like a couple of people that follow me. Can I come and visit your railroad? Only to be told no, I'm sure, but I'd love to go and have a look at that because it is literally about a 15-minute drive from me. So, I mean, but anyway, people like that and Rod Stewart coming out and it becoming more exposed, I think it is opening it up. And everyday people like me, you, and everyone else can actually enjoy and talk about it, and even just things like this. I mean, I was coming on here to just talk about a couple of bits and the fact I'm going to Warley. I was only going to be in there for 10 minutes, and we've got really involved in the conversation, which is what I quite like. So yeah, I think it's definitely improved, and it's changing as well. But yes. And thoughts on what AccuScale's big announcement will be tomorrow? I have no idea. You've got a spy in there right now, Jason. Maybe he could go on a little bit of an espionage trip. Hashtag just saying. Yeah, and don't know. Z21 is not a good controller. Yeah, we just spoke about that, Stuart. I agree with that as well. So much more DTC controllers out now compared to when I converted. I think it was Lens, ZTC, and Digitrax, hence why they're in Digitrax. Digitrax. Yes. I originally looked at Digitrax because of, and oh my god, I've forgotten everybody's name tonight. I can remember Facey, I met him last year and we spoke really, really well. And unfortunately, his father passed away this year and he had the double helix. And he was using Digitrax, and oh my god, this is embarrassing. I've not remembered anybody's names. I'm so sorry. Anybody who's watching this, I know exactly who you are, and I know all about your work. I just can't remember your names. God. Anyway, I'm sure you all know who I mean. He had Digitrax, and yeah, I spoke to him a lot about, and I was that close to buying Digitrax over the DR5000, but it came just down to money available at the time. And the DR5000 was just a smidge cheaper, and in the long run, I just went down that route. But yeah, I was that close to Digitrax. But again, they're an American company, and I know DigiKeys isn't a UK company. They're sort of from Scandinavians, I think. So I found a lot of the cost of the Digitrax stuff was a bit higher than the DigiKeys because it was Europe import as opposed to like American import. But yeah, Digitrax, very good systems. Very good systems. Just going back to the chat, sorry, bear with me, guys. Our club layouts using the Z21, yeah. And I think that's one of the good things about the things like using as a club layout for like the Z21 stuff is you can set different, I think you can set like different profiles. So you can have like one Z21 controller, 3 layouts, plug it into layout 1, load up preset 1, and that is layout 1. You've got all your locos and points and 2 signals. Unplug the same controller, go to layout 2 and load up profile 2 and run the second layout. So I think having a digital controller like that has its benefits for club layouts and things like that. And so though it's an expensive outlay, you're buying 1 controller instead of 3 or however many. So I think that's another good thing about computer controlled controllers, especially for club layouts. Yeah, happy birthday, Jason, again. In all honesty, I'd sooner do dioramas than a full layout. And that's where I started. I did a diorama, and I think it's either been seen in the back of my videos, and I've never mentioned it, or I put pictures up about it. Let me see, because I've got a picture on my phone. I'll see if I can ping it up to here in a minute, of the first diorama I did, and that is what then pushed me into the model railway, again going back to sort of Boulder Creek Railroad, and to doing my layout, because I got into the scenery first and then just really enjoyed that, and then sort of progressed into making model railway. So yeah, Tim, I agree with that. I'm itching to get the green stuff down on a layout. It comes back to doing those sort of dioramas. So let me very quickly, and I'm not going to spend more than 2 minutes just so I don't bore you all, just trying to find a picture of my first ever diorama. but it was some time ago. If I can't get it on the screen in 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll move on, don't worry. I'm not going to hang around. That's got so much rubbish on my phone, photo-wise. There's the thing, you just, with digital phones and cameras and stuff now, you just let stuff accumulate. When you go back through it, it's like, oh my god. Right. 1 minute to go. Can I do it? Can I do it? Yeah, there we go. There's one. Let's airdrop it to my phone quickly. From my phone to my laptop. No, I've got to accept it, haven't I? Sorry, headphone users. My airdrop. Right, let me quickly put it into here. Now I'm trying to put music on my live stream. Sorry guys, I know I said I'd make it quick, but I have got it up here. I'm just resizing it just so it's not massive. It's a shame to have gone through all the work of getting it onto the computer, not to put it up. There we go. So that was the first diorama I ever did before I even built a railway. Now it's nothing spectacular, but that's what I sort of started with and got into. And I did. It's very, very heavily based on one of Boulder Creek Railroad's dioramas because it sort of used that as a bit of inspiration to get through. But yeah, the quality of it obviously isn't super massively great on your screen, I imagine, but it's just so you get the flavour. So let's get rid of that. But yeah, so that's sort of, I definitely agree with that, Tim. Right, Jerry Allen Kampala Road had serious issues with Visit 21. Oh, I didn't know that. What are those issues? I think it'd be interesting to know what they were. The major bands are getting a big run for their money and doing a good job. Yeah, I think we can definitely agree that a lot of people are pushing those brands into being a bit more desirable or getting more bang for your buck. I think is definitely the way it's going. 37s is a good example. Yes, I agree with that. I think Agriscale are making a new 37. Is that what the announcement is? Because who is it? Yes, I think somebody announced it because I remember a lot of people jumping up and down and saying at least it's going to be a challenge to the Bachmann one. The hobby has stopped being a closet hobby. So many people are now more open about being a modeller. Yes, and do you know what? There is a guy I work with who is actually coming up to Warley, who has been, he's worked where I worked for close to 30 years, so as long as I've been alive, and I've known him for the best part of a year. And the other day, he just heard me over talking, and he was like, "You into modern railways?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I was talking about Warley." He was like, "I've got a massive layout, and I'm oh my god, somebody
grab a coffee on me at Warley, grinning face with big eyes."
Wow. So this is what I was talking about, the text chat. So thank you very, very much. That was completely unnecessary. But wow, thank you very much. Didn't have to do that at all. I'm honestly a little bit speechless by that. But thank you very much. That was very kind. But yeah, $4.99. Jason, Diamond. Didn't have to do that at all. But thanks very much. Wow, I've lost my train of thought there now. Sorry about that. But yeah, so yeah, the guy I work with, and he was like, "Oh, I'm coming up to Warley," and we just got chatting. He's got a massive layout. He's moving from down south up north. He's retiring, and he's basically bought sort of a derelict property. He's doing it up, and he's got an outhouse, which is basically a huge barn, and he's converting that into what is going to be a scale mile of railway, a scaled mile of model railway. That's how big this place is. So I'm very jealous. But yeah, people are more open about it now, definitely. So yeah, it's very good. Let me go back. Oh my god, broken my phone. Live chat. Oh, dear. But yes, right. Ever done a London Underground layout? No, there is London Underground stock now, isn't there? As well, there's a few different variations. Um, no, I haven't. But that's actually, do you know what? For my short little end to end, I'm thinking about doing. That might be a good idea of having scenery on top and then having a little end to end of an underground station and getting some stock because I could basically have an 8 foot by 2 and have two loops effectively. So just, I don't know, pick any old underground station, platform 1 and 2, opposite directions, and then have the town scene above it. And then the loop would basically be the trains going around, could go into a hold, and then they can come back into the station. So do you know what, Mike T, you may have just given me a good idea. That is something I may seriously look into because I can do scenery and I haven't got to worry too much about space for track and stuff if it's just two loops, and then I can really focus on perfecting some scenery techniques to take onto the big dock layout. So Mike T, thank you very much. You really give me a good idea there. DJ Model Railway Finneton, yes, that's exactly who I was talking about. Thank you very much. Class 37 has already been announced. Tomorrow is an all-new announcement. Make sure you understand 10:15 a.m. Hashtag not telling. Is that from your little spy? You're on his espionage trip. So for anyone who is going to Warley tomorrow, 10:15 at the stand. Let's go see what that announcement is. What did they do last year? They did the wagons, didn't they? Not the wagons. Was it the tankers that they announced? And then I think if they've done the 37 announcement already, what that would be quite a big announcement itself. So it's got to be something that they think is bigger than a Class 37. Everyone seems to be taking on Bachmann. What's one of Bachmann's big staple brands? What's their major products? The 66 has been done. That's been fought to the death now. The 37's been taken on. Maybe a DMU. Maybe the 108, the 101. I don't know. That could be completely off the mark there, but I don't know. That's where I'm thinking. Could be that. Yep, I think the DJ Model Railway. That's exactly who I was. God, I'm really behind in the chat. I'm sorry, guys. Happy birthday, disco balls. Yep, and then we've got the one for a donation there. So, Jason, again, thank you very much for that. That was completely unnecessary, but massively appreciated. Thank you. A scale mile, Finneton, is, so obviously in 00 scale, it'd be a mile, not as in a mile of 00, but it would be a mile in scale of 00. Now, what that is in actual real dimensions, I don't know. Let's go on Google. Let's find it out because that's just going to be the quickest answer, isn't it? But I remember it being massive, so I don't want to do that. 1 mile in 00 gauge. 21 metres or 69 feet, apparently. 30 metres, 70 foot. That's how big this thing is, or will be. He's obviously got one at the moment, but that's what he's going for. Just, wow. And Tim, with his awesome maths there, I just Googled it. Just Googled it. That's what I did. I don't need another scale announcement. My pocket's already light from the Delta and the 37, Paul. Yeah, I mean, I'm this sort of, something like this makes me glad. I've gone to Warley this year, and I'm not buying because I'm like, well, I might, but I'm saying I'm not buying because I haven't got technically allowed to buy 4. And although Mike T's put the seed in my head about doing this underground thing, maybe. I thought if I can go in and I can just enjoy the layouts, look at the new products, what's out there, and maybe give me some ideas for this year. But yeah, I'm sort of lucky that I'm not desperately shopping for anything in particular this year, or if there's anything that I'm hoping to see. So yeah, Paul, you got my sympathies. Yeah, good luck on Sunday. I'd say I'd hold you back, but I don't think that's going to work, is it? It's double O gauge. Yeah, mind blown. Yeah, I was definitely mind blown. 142, 47. We're guessing now. Hi from Kevin in New Zealand. Wow, New Zealand. I've reached New Zealand. Holy cow! Hi, thanks for tuning in. Wow, yeah, wow. But I can now say that I've gone international. So SF Ratton New Zealand Kevin. Thanks very much. I've just reached another milestone, so thank you for that. That is awesome. Guys, the Streamlab notifications, are they getting annoying? Because I will turn them off if they are. And Dave is here. Dave, your ears must have been burning because I've mentioned your name a few times, but welcome. Thanks for the love. And my kiss is back, of course. I really subscribe to this channel. Wow. I'm actually quite humbled, so thanks very much for following my channel. I really appreciate that. Underground, do it, love the tube. Yes, but I use the tube quite a lot. Well, no, that's not true actually. So the other thing is because when I have to go into London, I get the fast train from Kent, the High Speed One, into either Stratford or St Pancras. So today I got on the high speed, so I went into St Pancras, and I really like not St Pancras because that's just a typical station. It's massive and there's too many platforms, but I really like Stratford International. Now, I get off there occasionally, and it's a really weird station because it looks and feels like, and it's called International, like it should be a Eurostar stop, and the Eurostar comes through Stratford International, comes directly out of St Pancras, past and through Stratford International, and then through down into Ebbsfleet into Kent. So it follows the same line as the high speed one, and there are platforms for it for the Eurostar, but the Eurostar does not stop there. I don't know if it was ever intended to, and they just didn't for whatever reason. But when you go there, the outside rails and the outside platforms, the rails are rusted, like as in where they just don't get used. The platforms are derelict. So you've got the bit in the middle, the platforms in the middle, which is sort of one big platform, the through lines, and then the outer platforms as well. And I often sit there and I think, because it's got biblock track, it's got points, it's in terms of structures, it's got tracks going up and over and under and all sorts. It's a really interesting thing. So I was thinking about not replicating, but using that as a heavy influence for a station as an end-to-end. So that was another thing I'm considering. So not necessarily tube, although I am really liking that idea, but that was sort of where I was thinking about doing an end-to-end layout. So if anyone's familiar with Stratford International, you'll know what I'm talking about. If not, I'd definitely say have a look on Google Images because it's a really interesting and weird station. And then obviously above it, you've got loads of retail. So, and the Olympic Park. So it's worth a Google. Good gosh, 47 feet. The perimeter of my new layout is 70 foot. Yeah, 97, not 47, 97. So that's just one scale mile. So yeah, that's what it is. I hope I'm going and I'm spending money. yeah, good luck. Good luck. I do take cash, leave your card somewhere, and if you desperately then want to come back and get something, there are cash machines outside the hall, because I had that problem last year. I was like, card, and it's like, oh my god, look at the receipts at the end of the day. I mean, if you look at my stream that I did at the end of day one last year, as I was showing what I've got, as I got further on, and I was just thinking, oh, I've spent more than I wanted to. Yeah, take cash. So this is my budget, and have your card available or somewhere, and then go out if you run out of cash and you really, really want something. And that's just, I'm not saying you have to, but that's just a bit of advice that I would do. So yes, nope, I'm going in and spending. Oh, sorry, I've read your message all around. Yeah, I'll get it now. Well, it's not far considering we're from the same Commonwealth. Yeah, fair point. Fair point. Yeah, that's a very good point. They used to stop there for the Olympic Games. Gap Valley. Okay, that would make more sense. So the Eurostar stopped there for the Olympic Games. So they built it, but now it looks derelict. So it what are we 7 years on, and they just haven't. It's really interesting to see. Every time I go down, I'm like, I should take some pictures, but it's always rammed, and it's London, and taking pictures in a train station when you look like me with a beard and normally wearing a hoodie and stuff like that. I don't fancy the random bag searches for that. So yeah, I always end up chickening out taking photos. But yeah, that's by the by. But yeah, I'm sure Google Images will have some good photos. But it's really interesting to see now how just to see the difference between the rails, because it literally when you go there now, it looks like, if you didn't know that that's what they did, that they thought, oh, we'll have this as a stop, and then they've gone, oh no, we won't, but it's already built. So it's quite a good. It's different technique of treating the rail as well, because for modelling, because you can have it look very different, and it looks very unkempt compared to the through line and the platform line. So yes, it was interesting to know that's why they stopped there for the Olympic Games. So thanks for that, Gab Valley. That's good. What stand are you on, Mr. Tony Doc? I'm on a chair. No, I'm joking. Sorry, that was silly. No, I'm not on a stand. I am a visitor. So I'll be walking around. I will be going to stands for meets and stuff like that, but I'm not affiliated with Warley or any of the particular stands or anything like that. So yeah, will be floating about. You'll either find me near some food and an eatery, because that's all I do. I eat. I may have some form of drink, or I'll be perusing around, or outside maybe having a little vape. But yeah, you will see me in the hat and the the Shunters Guy t-shirts. But yeah, it's good to know about cash machines for English notes. You lot don't like how Mickey Mouse Northern Irish money. It's not real money. It's not real money. No, I'm joking. My heritage is from the Northern Irish. My whole of my father's family are from Belfast, so you have my utmost respect, Paul. And I would take your money and spend it on beer. No, I'm joking. But yeah, no, there are cash machines everywhere. This place is made to make money. When I came through the train station earlier, there's a McCoy's, like a corner shop type place, like newsagent. And I went in just to grab a bottle of Pepsi. Other soft drinks are available, and the price was just enormous. So this place is made to make money. You can't walk anywhere without passing a shop, a cash machine, or something that's designed to take money from you. So yeah, Paul, you'll have no problems spending your money, and I'm sure they will take your money whether it's Mickey Mouse or not. So don't worry about that too much at all. Have you got your rowing boat ready for the crossing, Paul? Are you coming by boat, or are you flying across, Paul? Because be interested to know where you're coming in from. Not coming in from, coming into, because obviously there's an airport right here as well as the train station as well. So yes, I will be at C6 early on. Is that from tomorrow? And I'll see if I can swing by. Do you know what? There's so many meets and stuff going on. That's not true. There's not so many, but there's more than one. And I have a memory like a fish. I'm just gonna go to the ones that I can remember, and then I'm just gonna look for where the biggest crowd of people are and go over. But I know that just before I came on, Richard went on the Hornby one, and Cottesmore. You can put it in here. Please put it in the chat. The times of the meet that you mentioned as well, because I think they're doing one. We can actually go and actually try and do the work on the actual layout. So that's a meet. I think there's a Model Rail Network meet. I think there's an MRYCG meet. I think there's a Hornby meet. There's so many meets that I can't remember all of them. And if I've forgotten one, I'm sorry. You can see them from the rest of my stream. I've forgotten loads of things. It's not me being silly. I've just had awful memory. So yeah, I'll be going to trying to get to all of them, and I'm there over both days. So it makes it a little bit less stressful to be able to get to them as well. Tim, would have you believe I'm rowing over, flying in Sunday morning? Are you flying in Sunday morning, flying out Sunday afternoon? And are you going to Birmingham, or have you got a transfer in as well? I think it is. I've got my ticket here. It opens at 9:45 till 6 tomorrow. 9:45 till 5 on Sunday. So yeah, I suppose as long as you sort of get your time's worth, then yeah, it's probably quicker flying anyway, isn't it? Um, and what I might do is I will, on my flight simulation channel, I might even replicate that flight for you. How about that? Yes, Jumble Lane printing stand. Is that the? Yes, that's the one that they showed earlier today, didn't they? On the Warley page that Stu and Jeff were doing, I think. I was watching that on the train up. Meet at Hornby Mag stand at 11 a.m. Meet at Warley Club stand at 2 p.m. And then I'm sure there's a few more as well, but those are the ones that Jason's mentioned, so those are those ones as well. Yeah, so, right, while I've just caught up with the chat, because that was me being really slow, I have a quick video, and I mean this is a quick video because I was so depressed taking apart my layout that I couldn't bear filming or talking about it. So I just did a very quick pan midway through because I thought I've got to do something, and I've sent it to a couple of people in the groups as well. But yeah, this is a quick video of my loft as it was as I was taking it apart. I've, as you can see, completely stripped out. This was mid taking it up, but it is now all completely up, boxed. Everything is all away. But yeah, as you can see, it's just chaos everywhere. And those back scenes were just, they were a pain to get up. They were even worse to get down. But just look at how depressing that is. I've even put it in slow motion just for dramatic effect. How about that? But yes, gents, I was watching New Junction last video and it states that there'll be industrial strike action taking place on the railroad Saturday. Yes, that is true, but it is for one particular train line only. And let me be useful and get that information for you, because I have it in an email that I got from Virgin when I came up. Some train lines are perfectly working fine, and the one that is under strike, oh god, da, da, da. I think it's West Midlands, but don't. Here we go. Well, I got an email from Warley as well. So the email I got says we've been made aware that the R&T strike action is set to cause significant disruption to West Midlands Railway services every Saturday through November and December. So West Midlands Railway are having strike action tomorrow, I believe. So if you are travelling on that, please do check your travel information and make sure you leave yourself plenty of time. But yeah, so West Midlands. I came up on the Virgin Pendolino from London Euston, and that was working perfectly fine. There was no delays at that at all. So I think it is only, I know it's Friday, but I've also gone back on the Sunday, and I haven't had any other information to say it's anything other than the West Midlands Railway. So yes, thanks for pointing out, Stuart. That's really useful for everybody as well. Flight into Birmingham at 10:30, should be at the hall by about 11. I was going to say, yeah, literally, as you come out of Birmingham Airport, you get on this little shuttle, goes over to the main exhibition hall, walk over the bridge, go straight, and you'll see on your left will be the motorcycle show. Keep walking, so motorcycle show's on your left, bear around to the right, the other motorcycle show will still be on your left, and you go down a flight of stairs, and in front of you will be a coffee shop, and on your left is Warley. So yeah, come out the airport, get on the mini train shuttle, go straight over the bridge, down the escalators, keep walking straight, motorcycle show on your left, turn right, motorcycle show on your left, down the stairs, and there's Warley there for you as well. So yeah, it will take you a short amount of time to get there. Midland Trains, yes, Finnerton, yes, it is Midland Trains. So yes, please do, if you are coming on those, check that out. But yeah, so that loft is now completely taken apart. The only thing I haven't taken off is the insulation and flooring and stuff like that, because obviously, and the lighting, because it's being stored up there until we know exactly where it's going to go. Even if it goes just into storage at my mum's and stuff like that, and then I gradually set it up. But it was honestly, it was heartbreaking having just got to the point where I was able to carry on, like get trains running, to have that taken apart, and having gone through taking that layout apart once already, it was soul destroying. Nice one, you'll be there with a carnation in your lapel, of course. Paul, I'll tell you what I'll do. If you let me know when you're there, or do you know what? I'm sorry, I've got a can here, and I've just seen my audio meter spike. Sorry, let me just quickly open this can. Wait, I'm going to mute the mic so it doesn't deafen you all. Sorry if I did deafen anyone there. Just wanted to open my drink. So, tell you what I'll do, Paul. Let me know when you're there. I'll come out and I will have a beverage of your choice available for you. Like I said, I would owe you a drink. You let me know when you're there, and I'll have one to quench your thirst from your weary travels. Yes, right. Do you know what, guys? I've been online for way longer than I thought it was going to be, and I've really enjoyed chatting. But it's getting to a point now where I haven't even eaten. I'm going to go get some food. But yes, thank you for every single one of you for streaming in. Thank you. I'm going to name him for Jason for donating $4.99 when it's completely unnecessary. Thank you for putting up with my Streamlabs chat admin thing. I hope that was sort of a balance of not too annoying but useful. The vote thing, it was a laugh on it. It was something. You got to see a video of me tearing my loft apart. I muted it because nobody wants to hear a grown man crying. I'm joking. And yes, it's been a great stream to come back with. I'm really looking forward to seeing anyone who's going to be at Warley have a chat. Please do come find me. I will probably be in my own little world, so just tap me on the shoulder and just say, hey, it's me, and I'll be like, oh, hey, it's me, and then we can have a little, meet. And it'd be really nice to actually, it was really nice last year to meet people face to face, especially when, and understandably, a lot of people, and even I am guilty of it, don't like doing videos with yourself in it. I've dabbled in it, and I do these streams and stuff like that, but yeah, you don't always recognise everybody. So please, and I mean, you've seen me this stream forget people's names, knowing all about them. So if you come up to me and I'm like, yes, I do know, and I forget your name, please don't be offended. It's not me. It's not me being personal. It's just me being useless. So, but yeah, please do come up, have a chat. We'll go and enjoy some layouts together and have a laugh and stuff like that. But yes, sorry, just quickly, where are you planning to build Tony Docks 2? Hoping, I'm having mid-conversations with the wife at the moment about putting it downstairs in the living room near my flight simulator computer area. But it's a work in progress. But that's where we're hoping to be. There may be other options, and it may be, that it's a smaller layout in the loft still. And I sort of, because I can get through the loft hatch, it's smaller, it just means I can't get the existing Tony Docks through it. So I can rebuild a smaller end-to-end up there, So it may still be in the loft, it may be downstairs. It's a conversation in progress, but watch this space for that. I feel for you, mate. I know what it's like having to take down your hard work. Yeah, and if anyone's done it, honestly, it is hard to do it. But you're so hesitant about doing it. It takes forever to get started, and then you have to just, as the phrase goes, kill your babies and just cut the emotion to it and just sever track, pull the boards apart, and once you get it going and you get to your point of no return and you're not tempted to start putting it all back together, it's manageable. But yeah, it is hard. Great stream. Stay tuned. Tony Docks 2 coming soon. Yes, thank you very much, Tim. Yes, it will, but I'm not putting a time frame on it because it's Christmas. There's so much family stuff going on. And yeah, I'm hoping that I'll start getting content out with within the first month of 2020, so within January. And if I can do it before, I will. But that's what I'm aiming for. But I'm not going to set a definite time on it. But yeah, so I just wanted to do this, let people know that I'm still alive. We've had a lot going on, but we're going to enjoy Warley, come up with some good ideas over Christmas, and start putting them into practice for 2020 as a new year, new resolution, and a new start. So yes, wishing you and everyone else attending have a great time of the weekend. Yes, Jason, it's a shame you can't make it, but there's always next year or the year after. But yeah, have a happy birthday as well, whatever you're doing. And thank you again. I'm going to mention it because you really didn't have to, but thank you for the donation. I would definitely enjoy that with a coffee, so thank you very much. And how about a garden out for Tony Dog Stew? Stuart Barnard. Did think about that. The garden we've got though is house we've got is on a hill, so our garden is sort of slanted with a flat bit at the bottom. And again, it'd be spending money on more than what I've already got. I want to sort of try as best I can to utilise what I've got, but it's not something I'm saying definite no to, but we'll see. We'll see. You build when you're ready. It's your hobby. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, rule one always applies, and family and stuff comes first, and work, because you can't do the hobby if you haven't got a job to pay for it. So got to do that. It is what it is, isn't it? Go engage. Yeah, Chris. We did speak about this obviously way back at the beginning of the stream, so you might have missed it. But I want, with all the product I've got, I don't want to have to re-buy new locos and stock and track and everything in Engage again. I'd rather sort of utilise what I've got in Double O, and also I've got really shaky hands, so Engage may be a bit too fiddly. But I have thought about it, and I haven't definitely said no, but I am leaning towards sticking to Double O. But the bullet, yeah, it is. Sometimes you do just have to. Enjoyed the stream. Thank you very much, Paul. Hopefully see you Sunday. You definitely will. Warley, Warley, Warley. Oi, oi, oi. Yes, indeed. Right, I'm up to date with chat. Know that the chat is lagging. So at this point here, I've just got to 21:27 with Paul saying enjoyed the stream. Hopefully see you Sunday. So any comments after that, after ending the stream, I'm sorry. It's just I've stopped the stream. So guys, thank you very much for staying with me. And I will hopefully see you over the weekend, if not through the new year. So have a good one, guys. I'll see you all soon.